Okay, we're here today, Tuesday, November 8th, via Zoom for the Community Design Review Committee for the Village of Airmont. The first application is 52 Campbell Ave for a proposed neighborhood house of worship on a lot containing an existing single-family residence. The applicant is seeking to remove the residence and construct a neighborhood place of worship, and they've submitted a proposed site plan. And Rhonda, I think, are you on for the applicant with Mendy? I don't see Mendy.
Hi, morning.
Hi. Okay, good morning.
Yes, Rhonda is, Rachel's not in town, so Rhonda will be presenting.
That's fine.
Rhonda on?
Yeah, Rhonda's on. She's just muted. Rhonda, you need to unmute yourself.
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Just trying to get set up. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so 52 Campbell Ave, I believe, is your application with Mendy?
Correct.
All right, if you want to, and I have to apologize. I didn't realize Rachel was out. I sent a letter from the fire inspector this morning to you and Mendy that I got just before the meeting with some comments. Mendy, okay. Can you forward it to Rhonda? I don't have her email.
Yeah, I forwarded it to you, Rhonda.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, go ahead. You have the floor.
All right. So it's a 52 Campbell Avenue is a single family residence. They want to demolish the building and build a neighborhood place of worship. It's in the R25 zone. There are several variances that we will be needing. Front setback, front yard, side yard, rear setback, rear yard, development coverage, and parking. All right. You want to add anything, Mindy?
No, we're pretty much here just to hear the board's comments. So,
okay.
John, if you want to.
Yeah, John, if you want to go over your letter.
Sure. So under the planning portion of our comments, classifying this as an unlisted action, and if and when this is considered for a negative declaration, seeker resolution will be prepared. We did shore form EAF. We ate some potential federal wetlands on site, and so we're asking you to show the wetlands or note that there are no wetlands on site. So sometimes it flags it, but there may not necessarily be wetlands. So if there isn't, add a note. If there is, please show them and have them delineated by a qualified wetlands consultant. Comment 3 is just noting that this is a permitted use in the R25 zone, subject to approval from the Airmont Planning Board. Comment 4 discusses the variance required for specifically parking spaces. 60 is required, and they're asking down to, and we think that may be excessive. That's a significant reduction from what's required under the code, and we think you may need to scale this down or look for additional parking because that's a significant reduction in the required parking. Comment 7 notes that there's 7 variances that are required, and putting the comment out there, and it may be a little bit early, but there seems to be a number of applications whereby multiple variances are being required, and in effect almost circumventing the zoning code, which is specifically intended to limit projects of certain magnitudes. And there are cases where variances are required, but in this particular one, there's a significant number of variances required. So we think that this project should be scaled down to better comply with the zoning. So we're asking that to be We're asking that the days and site plan under the engineering comments, a drain, although this is below 1 acre of total site disturbance, so a full stormwater pollution prevention plan is not required. A drainage report is required to address stormwater detention and stormwater quality. So that's going to have to be provided. We're also noting that the Town of Ramapo DPW comments need to be received. I know it's early, and at the CDRC stage we don't, but it's there so that at some point in time the applicant knows we're going to need those. We're asking for site distances to be shown for the entrances, and I think we're going to need in large detail because culverts and grades and curve radiuses and so forth, they need to be shown on the plan so that they can be adequately constructed. We are asking for a lighting plan. It needs to be provided, and comment 11 just again is noting that we do need health department, and we need to show the water and sewer services and the size of the pipes to the building. Comment 13, we got to have a fire truck turning radius shown on the plans, and it doesn't appear, looking at the plan, that a fire truck can access the rear of the building, so that needs to be looked into. We are asking for a SHPO review as the site is within or contiguous to an and there are some additional site plan details. I know this is the first submittal, but there are a bunch of other details that'll be needed to the plans as we move forward. And the last comment talks about erosion and sediment control. The plans are insufficient, and additional measures, including sediment storage, diversion swale, stockpiling, et cetera, that they ultimately need to be added to the erosion and sediment control plan.
Okay.
Lou, do you have anything?
No, I'm more interested in what the inside of the building would look like in the interior layout to see what's going on in there. But the other issue that I have, if they're just looking through the neighborhood places of worship regulations, there's no buffering anywhere. We got 4.5 feet to the neighboring property on one side, and it looks like maybe 3 feet to the rear, and there's supposedly a stream back there. So I don't know what we're doing for buffering, but I'm sure the neighbors or anybody do not want to look at a huge parking lot in the middle of a residential development. So we really got to figure out some way of doing that. Maybe shrink the building down, move the parking in. But that's all I got on this one, because I don't know what's inside any of the buildings. I mean, it looks like 2 separate structures. I mean, you got a MIGFA covered patio and some other stuff going on there, but I don't have any details. So
yeah, we're still working on I mean, what the inside is going to look like, obviously. I mean, first we need to figure out the site, but yeah, we will get you plans as soon as we have them.
I agree with the engineer that this ideally should be a lot smaller than it is, because you're up to every property line with the parking lot, and there's no way of doing, anything. There's no buffer. If there's parking lots right up to the parking lot, right up to the property line, cause an issue if somebody accidentally backs over the berm or whatever. We've had cars end up in other people's yards, things like that happen. So it would be a better idea if you figured this out a little bit better and maybe move the building, shrink it down, and rearrange the parking. And could you make sure you put the stream on the drawings in the back part of the lot?
Yeah, we will. We'll update that.
Can you just give me an indication of what the square footage of the building is intended to be?
I don't think we have an exact calculation. It's going to be 2 stories.
Whoa.
Let me see if I have anything more than that. I don't think I have exact square footage just yet. No, I don't have that just yet. So I guess we'll get a calculation once we have some more information about the interior.
Okay, for secret purposes, it looks like it's going to be an unlisted action. Planning board, I assume, will be the agency for the secret. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a bit. Maybe we should get another plan that kind of addresses these things, try to reduce some of the 7 or eliminate some of the 7 variances that are going to be sought.
We can definitely try to, I mean, we can definitely try to address some of the issues. I don't, I guess we'll have to see what we can work out. I mean, the lot is a very interesting shape. So, I mean, definitely limits us in certain ways, but we will definitely try to work with whatever we can.
Okay.
Are there any other uses in this going to be used in this building? The hall of worship?
Sorry?
Are there any other uses in this building besides the house of worship?
No, I mean, house of worship and mikvah, that's usually.
Well, I mean, because you can't have catering facilities, you can't have a social hall, you can't have a daycare center, and no school.
Right. Yeah, it's supposed to be a house of worship with a mikvah. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Lou, are those items that are ordinarily put on the plans?
Some of them would be, and it's based on that. I'm only asking because they have looks like two separate structures here.
Yeah.
So usually a house of worship is the bigger building of the two. Looks like it could be a house of worship. I don't know what the building on the right hand side of the drawing is that has the mikveh attached to it, but.
So I do have some preliminary plans if you want to look at it.
And with the question about the 2 floors, normally there's a balcony overlooking the worship area, but 2 floors means there's something else is going on there. That's
no. So yeah, it's going to be a balcony. The second story is a balcony above the shul part.
Okay.
The other structure, the kind of the L-shaped one is, well, that's the mikvah on the first floor. Well, actually, the whole and the second story is more like a study hall. Yeah. So yeah, the shul area, the main structure is 1 story with a balcony above. I forget the word.
And by study hall, you mean school or actually study hall?
No, study hall. It's part of the shul. Religious classes or whatever, not school type. Just
religious classes are limited to 10 hours a week, right?
That's fine.
All right.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be less than that. I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much this. Any other comments?
So, Mendy, I'm assuming you're going to be coming back to CDRC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, so Mendy, the next CDRC meeting, I don't know if you'll make it for that, but the December meeting is December 13th and the deadline is November 22nd to submit.
I guess we will have to see if we can make it.
If not, the meeting after that is January 10th and the deadline's December 21st.
Thank you.
All right, so no one has anything else. We'll just have you submit to come back to CDRC to address those items.
Yeah, I mean, John and Lou, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like a lot more is necessary before the planning board actually considers this.
There's a lot of comments that have to be addressed, and specifically trying to get this to fit, the zoning parameters. There's a lot of variances required, and we would like the applicant to try to see what they can do to reduce some of them variances that are required.
Do you think it might be helpful if we request a full EAF? I think there's a short one was provided.
I think it's probably a good idea to have a long form.
So long, yeah. And also take into account the items from the fire inspector that were sent this morning, please. And Tallman Fire also, I sent a letter over about their comments. If you could look at those too. That was dated October 25th. This does not require GML.
Well, there might be a stream in the back. So do you think that, depending on what that stream is, that might trigger GML, do you think?
I ran the report on the GIS system.
Okay.
And it says no for GML review, no for regulated streams, no for anything.
Okay.
If the streams are then put on the paperwork, is that going to adjust that GML report?
It shouldn't. It's automatic, I think. So, but I'd like to see what that stream is.
Yeah. No, if it's not a designated stream that's under the jurisdiction of the drainage agency, then no, it's not. Does not require a GML. And it doesn't matter if we put it on the map or not. If it's on Suzanne's report, that's what counts.
I'll send everybody a copy so they can see it. Okay. So we'll see you at the next CDRC, Rhonda and Mendy, for this application.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next application is, I know I'm not saying it properly and I apologize. McConnum Halpern of 17 North Earmont Road LLC at 17 North Earmont Road. It's for a proposed amended site plan and special use permit for the conversion of a former hotel to a school building with a dormitory and the addition to the side of the building for an assembly room for an proposed amended site plan. And I think we have Paul Baum on and Mendy for this.
I'm here. Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So let me just start off by again apologizing to everybody for any confusion that we might have created or I may have created by confusing my request for a formal submission for a public hearing. It really wasn't my intent that it go to the board. I assumed we would be doing this now and be going to the planning board at the end of this month. So again, my apologies for that, but talking to Rachel and seeing her notes, it actually is, I think it turned out to be a very good thing because we got a lot of feedback. We have a lot of comments. We've got a lot of comments from the various agencies as well as John and the fire department. So I think it was very helpful that we got this ball rolling and made it a formal application and even went to public hearing a little prematurely, but so let's clean up, I guess, and that's what we're here to. Let's discuss the plan, the comments, go over your big concerns. We're getting ready to make a new submission for the continuation of the public hearing in December, and we want to try and get into you as soon as possible so that you have ample opportunity to review before the meeting. So we're here to discuss the plans and any of your comments that you want to focus on.
John, you want to start?
Sure. So under the planning portion of the review, it says a long form EAF for review. I think that should say a long form was submitted. And that we're noting that an unlisted action under seeker. And depending upon what interested and involved agencies are involved here, that this would be a coordinated review, because this is a change of use. Am I correct? This is a change of use?
Yes.
That's existing. And so there may be some larger impacts that other agencies may need to be involved in the seeker process. So somebody needs to give us all agencies that would be involved, so that we make sure everybody's aware of the proposed application. Comment two.
Before, John, I'm sorry, before we move on with that, we've identified, and obviously we need your guys' help, because we think we've identified everybody. We got the zoning board, the architecture review board, DPW, sewer district, Department of Health. We've got the highway department as an interested agency. We got the village of Montebello as an interested agency. Are there any other agencies that any of you can identify that we should add to this list for the circulation of the notice of intent?
The Thruway, Town of Ramapo, DPW, Town of Ramapo.
Okay, so we'll add the Thruway and we'll add the Town of Ramapo proper.
Sewer district, Rockland County Sewer District.
Yeah, I just want to, I have highway, sewer, environmental health, Thruway, Town of Ramapo, Village of Montebello, Town of Ramapo, DPW.
Okay. Okay, so we'll list all those in our response. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that being the case, I think, and I can prepare the seeker form, but an actual notice of intent that, you know, we intend agency under the seeker review, and perhaps forward a copy of the plan and the letter to those agencies, so that they're aware that that's our intent, in case they have any questions or comments as we go through the seeker process. So it also gives them an opportunity to see what's being proposed. Site plan perspective, there's not a whole lot of new stuff, but certainly under the change of use, they should have an opportunity to comment. So I just want to make sure at some point in the seeker review process that we do that. Under comment two, the applicant has made it clear that, you know, there will be no busing. So, you know, if there's no busing, obviously that the impacts are significantly less. So we're recommending, but that a note be put on the plans, and that in the condition of approval, if it's granted, that's clear, because that's enforceable on some sort of level, as opposed to just the applicant stating that, because it does make a huge difference, in our opinion, with regards to traffic impacts. So
John,
we want to make sure.
What was it you wanted on the plans? You were sort of breaking up there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm here.
No, we got it. He wants a note regarding the busing.
Based on the plans, that there will be no busing to this facility.
And I forgot to mention Rockland County Planning, Paul.
Yeah, I thought it was on the plans, but we'll put it on the plans.
Okay. The type and date of variances, if granted by the ZBA, that has to be added to the plans. And then under comment 4, that the seeker resolution should not be considered until the variances are granted, if they're granted.
I got to stop you right one on there.
We're not quite ready, in my opinion, for a seeker resolution. For a seeker, a notice of intent and a coordinated review, I think that would be appropriate.
Wait, John, excuse me, can I interrupt? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your number 4, I don't understand that, because if we're coordinating review and the ZBA is going to be an involved agency and the planning board is going to be lead agency, the zoning board of appeals cannot grant the variance until the planning board completes the seeker review and issues a neg deck. So when you say here that no seeker resolution should be considered until the appropriate variances are granted, we can't do that because the variances can't be granted until a neg deck is issued.
Unless the ZBA becomes the lead agency, which I don't think they'd want to do.
Yeah,
But
right.
that doesn't prevent this from being a dual track. I don't know if you really want to do that though. As the applicant, you can make that call, but you can start the ZBA process during the zoning, the site plan process rather. So let them. But you're right, Paul. The zoning board of appeals can't make the actual decision until SECRA has been concluded.
Right, and we'll file an application to the ZBA for variances just to like invoke their jurisdiction and you know, so they can sit back while you guys do your SECRA review, and then they can, you know, have any comments.
Right.
But you know, we'll get it in there just for the purposes of starting the process. But we know that nothing can happen there until.
Yes. As a practical matter, they can give you some feedback too. They can give you an indication that look, we're not going to be able to grant this much of a variance, and then it makes your work to change the plan somewhat.
That's true as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe.
John, you're cut off. We can't hear you at all.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Try it again. Try it again, please.
No SECRA resolution be considered until the zoning board of appeals has at least seen and reviewed. Can you hear me?
I believe you said no SECRA resolution until the ZBA has seen and reviewed the plans. I couldn't really hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. I don't know what the problem is.
Okay.
Yeah, but that has to happen as part of the notice of intent. So.
Yeah. So exactly. So okay. So let's scratch comment 4.
Scratch comment 4?
So,
all right.
So comment 4 has been scratched. Comment 5 under the long form EAF, there is wetlands identified within or adjacent to the project site that need to be shown on the plans. Let's say just a letter that says that there are none based on his field observation.
It's actually noted on the site plan. It's in the front of the property. There's a stream running through.
Okay, but now adjacent to the stream, there are not wetlands.
Okay.
As far as I know, no wetlands, just the stream.
Okay. So just have your
no, there's scouring along there. There's no wetlands
Yeah. So okay.
along the stream, only in the channel. Just the stream bed. That's it.
Okay.
I think Rachel said that was like automatically populated with the EAF mapper, but it's not. It's not on our property, and there's no disturbance to it. It's just one of those things that come up when you put in the address on the mapper form, you know. So we'll address it. We'll indicate where they are and that's not on the property.
Yes. And who made that determination? Can I ask?
Rachel Maurice, I think.
Okay.
That's what she had told me.
Okay.
So whether she went out there with somebody to look and
Fine,
find
to make that determination that there are no wetlands on site. So if that's Rachel, then that's fine. If it needs to be a wetlands consultant, so be it. But in either event, that note has to appear on the plans, and I'm just bringing that up because I want to make sure that's, you know, somebody qualified has made that determination, because it does show on the EAF mapper that there's the potential for wetlands.
Understood. We'll address it.
So again, we on comment 1 under engineering, there is a request for significant reduction in total parking spaces. So we're asking that the applicant reduce the total number potentially of students with parking. If in this particular case, no busing, is this the students are dropped off, picked up, or they're on the premises? I'm not sure what the parking requirements would be.
So the students come at the beginning, the semester, they stay there, they live on premises. There are no students commuting back and forth to the premises. A couple times during the year, obviously the students go home for their family during holidays. There's a schedule on how that's done. And we're going to submit all this to show that it's basically segregated so that kids leave at different times. Some will be picked up by their parents, the ones that are local. Others will be taken by a bus, or some will take taxis to the bus station and get home from there that way. But we'll submit a whole schedule that shows what our parking needs are, how the school operates in terms of these days when all the students go home for holidays and various breaks during the semester. So we'll address all that. Based upon the needs of the school, they have about 10. That's their demand based upon the staff that's coming and going, and that's 10 max. Different times during the day, there are smaller amounts, and we'll submit a whole schedule of when the staff comes and leaves and what our parking demand is, and we'll address it, and we'll have to make our case to the zoning board that we should get the variance. We understand that.
Okay. So there are, just noting that there are Rockland County DPW sewer comments, which got to be incorporated into the site plans. And I think it's more than just impacts and perhaps impact fees and things of that sort. There's actually technical comments that need to be incorporated. And then the fire lane striping and ladder truck turning radius on the plans is required to make sure that we can get the emergency apparatus in there. So we're asking that to be put on the plans. Comment 4 is noting that a full SWIP is not required. The village code does, however, require that any increase in stormwater runoff. We're asking you to prepare some sort of report that demonstrates that. A stormwater report that will confirm that in fact there will be no increase in runoff.
Yeah, there will be. We're going to create more pervious surface by taking up spaces within that open area where we're proposing the basketball court, where we're eliminating parking in front of the site. So that pavement is actually going to come up. So we're going to end up with more pervious surface than we have right now. So okay. There'll be a reduction in impervious surface.
If you're saying is in fact true that the engineer put that in some sort of a letter or quick report that gives me numbers, we have, 0.2 acres of additional impervious, but we're removing 0.4 and the net increase in stormwater runoff is X, something that I can quantify. So if the public questions, increase in runoff, we have some documentation to support that.
Absolutely.
I'm asking you to take a look at the existing lighting conditions and to see if they meet the village code requirements. So take a look at that. And then the planting landscape plan, we need a planting schedule so we know the total number of trees and species. I think there is a landscaping plan, but it needs to be a little more clear as to what we're putting in there. So I'm asking you to do that. And then the last comment is to provide the survey of the previously approved site plan so we can verify existing site conditions. That may have been submitted already. If it hasn't, just please do submit it.
Yeah, I think we have that. Suzanne pulled it out and gave it to us.
Yeah, I sent that, I believe, to everybody.
Okay, it's the Luxury Inns of America site plan from 19.
Yeah, that's the one I had to send you all through the WeTransfer because it was too large to send it through the village email.
Okay.
You might not have seen it. I don't know if you downloaded it yet.
I did see the email, so I did not get a chance to download it, but I will.
It might have expired, so let me know if I need to resend it. And I also wanted to point out, John, you may not be aware, but the hotel does have a stormwater agreement with a Schedule A already, because I've had to speak to them when the Panera was put in. So you should probably review that on a Schedule A at some point when we get to the end of this.
And I don't know why, I apologize, but you seem to be cutting in and out on me. So I got part of that. There's a
Okay.
Schedule A. There's a
Yeah,
Schedule A.
yeah, the hotel currently has a stormwater agreement with the schedule on cleaning out one of the detention areas. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. So that would have to be continued. I would think so. Okay.
All right, I'll definitely take a look at that.
Okay. Anything else, Lou?
I did have some questions. I know originally when the hotel and the restaurant were together, they actually had a bridge that connected the two, because there was a part of the village code required them to be connected to legitimize the other. And now that bridge is gone, and I know the new Panera is going in, and we still have two cross-access roads that go between the two lots, even though the lots are separated. So might there be some way of segregating one lot from the other? Because I know the Panera has issues with the proximity to the school, which is unavoidable due to the previous connection. But we're also sharing driveways and access roads, which I think is something that could possibly be avoided and might make a whole lot of parties more comfortable.
Well, there are existing cross easements that exist between the two properties that we all have to live up to, right? So they have to, they have to come around to our school as well for if they need to. I don't know if we can close them off.
They have a circular road that goes around the building. They have no need to go around the school ever.
Well, on the plans, it shows that the road around the back is going to continue, right? That's the loop road for fire safety.
That was originally an access road to the back part of the parking lot for Friendlies.
But I mean, it exists, and I don't think it's being eliminated.
Friendlies plans are not part of the drawing.
What?
The Panera plans are not part of the drawing.
Well, it shows their road coming right into ours. I'm looking at their plans right now.
There were easements done, Lou. I don't know them off the top of my head as part of the Panera approval. I'd have to look at the file. We might have to look at those.
Right. Even after the lots were segregated, even after they sold it?
I don't know what they were off the top of my head.
Can I share my screen a second?
Sure. Let me just give you the, whoops. Hold on. Go ahead, Paul.
Okay. So here's the Panera site plan, and this shows their circulation is going to continue. They have the right to go around this way. I mean, this is circulation for the entire site. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be great if we can wall this off, but then we can't get around our building.
Well, there's a dead area where the bridge used to be, where you could put a road through.
There's a dead area where, Lou?
The bridge. You see the huge
paved where this was?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if we could do that. It's going to be too close. This exists. We're just taking on the existing traffic pattern, and as we discussed, or as I stated in the beginning, you'll see in our analysis, we're not imposing any sort of a significant traffic impact here. Matter of fact, we have no traffic that's coming in to the site on a daily basis, except maybe 10 staff members or 15 staff members. So our people are not going to be coming in here and driving around through Panera. They come in here and they're going to park in front and go into the building.
I'm not saying your people are.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is the Panera was looking for some sort of segregation.
I'm happy to talk to them and see what they propose, and if it works for both of us, great.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, I think that would eliminate a lot of the fears that we have going on right now about, you know, not being able to survive where we're next to a school. But those are some of the things the owner expressed at the last meeting.
I understand that, and I'm more than happy to discuss with them. But everybody's got to be happy, right? The fire department's got to be happy with the circulation, emergency services. You have to be happy. Corey has to be happy. So I'm more than happy to talk to him and see what we can do that everybody will be satisfied with. I don't know if there is anything though, because we looked at it. But we'll do it again.
Thank you.
Suzanne, do you have all the contact information for the person at Panera that I can talk to? You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I have Panera corporate. I could probably get the owner of that Panera franchise.
Yeah, or whoever the contact person is for their site plan, even if
yeah,
it's,
I have that. I have the
yeah, even if it's the engineer, I'll call him first and then let him.
I can send you that information.
All right, great, thank you. Actually, it's the Paulus,
Panera,
right? I have the
Panera
plan,
corporate and the engineer.
It's Dynamic. Is it John?
Yeah, it's Joshua.
Dynamic?
Yeah, it's Joshua Seawald and Mike Amodio from Dynamic Engineering in Toms River, and I'll send you their email and phone number after the meeting.
Great. All right, and I'll contact them.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? So you were continued from the last planning board meeting to the December 22nd planning board meeting on this.
Correct.
And you're preparing a response to the comments and everything from that meeting.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
And we hope to have everything, like I said, everything submitted to you at least a month before the meeting.
Okay.
But what's my absolute?
The absolute drop dead deadline, because we already have a GML, would be 2 weeks prior.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll give you more than that.
Okay. So that the consultants and everyone have time to review. Plus that's during, kind of the holidays. So I don't know who's in and out and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 weeks, which would be December 8th at the absolute latest. And I would need that digital as well as hard copies. Please.
Okay. I'm just trying to see if we had any issues we wanted to address with you guys. Mendy, do you remember anything that we wanted to discuss in particular?
No, I don't think so.
Do you ever get a hard number on the head count?
We're actually working that out with the architect to see how much the building can actually hold, well, I guess according to building code.
I mean, we're expecting a projected enrollment of about 140 max. Obviously they're not there yet, but we're going to use that number as sort of our ceiling for calculations.
And you said 10 to 15 staff, correct, Paul?
They said no. There's not going to be any more than 10 at any given day, at any given time.
Okay.
So the total amount because they come and go, 5 will come, and then 4 will come, and then 4 will leave, and 6 more will come, or something like that. So I don't know the total number of staff, maybe 15, 20. We'll get the number.
Okay.
We're going to get the number, and we'll give you a good narrative of how the school operates and how they stagger the times and how the school operates and hours and when you can expect traffic coming in and so forth.
Okay.
Fire. Well, Village of Montebello's comments will address. Tolman Fire Department,
inspector as well as Tolman Fire.
Health Department, GML. I'm just running through these comments. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory. We don't have a lot of great issues with it. I think the number one thing we have to do is sort of nail down the number of variances, because now that you want some fencing around this play area in the front, obviously you want it to be a certain height, and I think there's restrictions on the height of a fence in the front yard, so we'll probably need a variance for something like that. So we're going to do our best to identify them, but I would appreciate anybody else's input if we miss one. Like especially
I think there was one mentioned in the GML as well.
Yeah.
That
So,
they talked about an additional possible variance.
So we're going to try to identify all of them and put them in there. If you should just double check us, and if we miss anything, let us know, so that when we make our application to the ZBA, we have a complete list. And that's all I got.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
Anybody else? Mendy, anything? Rhonda, anything? Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Good. Thank you all. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Next application is for the Furniture Village for final chairman's endorsement. And I believe we have Mendy. I don't know, is Kevin getting on or just you, Mendy? You're muted.
Sorry, yeah, it's just me.
Okay. So we got the SECRA resolution signed this morning, which I sent to everyone. You have the planning board resolution. John, to your effect, everything on the site plan has been addressed and you're good with all the comments, map notes, things of that sort?
Yes.
Okay. From a legal standpoint, Bob, do you have anything?
Nothing from me. Steve, anything from you?
No, not at this time.
Okay, and Lou, you're good with it, so I can then disperse the consultant sheet to sign off and then have the site plan endorsed.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so no comments on that one. All right, and then after that, Mendy, once I have the chairman sign, the owner will need to sign, and the owner gets one set, and I disperse the others. Okay. And there was no construction inspection because everything was already there, and you're just reusing the building.
You're talking about from the outside?
Yes.
Yeah.
From the outside.
Right.
Okay. So I guess that's it on that application. And then the one after that is for 53 North Lorna Lane for Dov Eisenberger for the wetland permit to construct the new home. I believe you have everything on that. The SECRA resolution, the planning board resolution.
Yeah.
John, I believe you said everything was good on that one as well. I just wanted to check before I have anything signed off. And I'll send the consultant sheet on this one. Lou and Steve, Bob, you don't have anything?
No.
Nothing from us. No.
No.
Okay. So then we can move forward with this one as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a nice day.
You too. Take care.
Very good.
Okay.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.